If you've been using Flutterflow and you're now picking up Dreamflow, there's going to be a particular way that you would have been used to working inside of Flutterflow. You would be kind of dragging and dropping widgets, and you'd be manipulating the look and the feel of the characteristics of those particular widgets using the property inspector. Now, of course, in Dreamflow, you can still do that, but there's a particular way of working in Dreamflow which will be very, very handy for Flutterflow users, particularly if you do not want to get into the weeds of the actual code itself. So using the power of the tool, how can we do that? Well, in this video, I'll show you how. So this particular series is all about kind of helping a kind of non-coders kind of work with inside Dreamflow. And it also supports a transition from using tools such as Flutterflow. And of course, Flutterflow is a little bit more closed. It pretty well much generates all of the code behind the scenes. But of course, Dreamflow is kind of opening that box here and allows you, if you would like, to getting a little bit deeper. But we don't want to get into deeper in this particular kind of video series. So let's talk a little bit about what we're seeing here. So on the left-hand side, we've got the widget tree. Of course, if you're coming from Flutterflow, you're going to be quite familiar with the hierarchical structure of all of the kind of the widgets that make up your user interface. And on the right hand side, we've got the typical properties inspector that allows you to kind of select a particular widget within inside the UI. It could be a bit of text, or it could be a container or something like that. And of course, you can then manipulate those properties on the right hand side. Now, of course, if you are not particularly familiar about, and you're kind of thinking, oh, okay, I don't really know what's going to happen there. I'm gonna maybe change something that I don't really understand, and it's going to kind of have some kind of adverse effect inside the UI. If you don't know what you're doing in terms of the properties, how can you kind of do the same kind of thing, but using the power of the tool to make those visual changes for you? So if you just want to kind of almost feel like you want to use natural language to say, well, can I change the borders? Can I make them a little bit square? How would you do that? Well, Dreamflow has a very, very, really useful little shortcut that you can use on the keyboard. And on the Mac here, it's Apple K here. And it allows you to bring up this prompt to say, what would you like to change? But we're going to focus this specifically on certain parts of our user interface. So of course you can see here by default it's kind of got the grid view up on our particular page. Let me just escape out of that for a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the inspect mode, and then I'm going to kind of hone in a little bit to maybe a particular part of my UI that I would like to kind of put those instructions in, and then let's see the change play out. So for example, let's have a look at this particular page here. On this particular part of my page here, we have a series of columns. Now, what we have on the left-hand side with the widget tree, we have this home page here. Now, that is the overall kind of screen here. You can kind of see that as I kind of selected or highlighted the scaffold here, you can see that this makes up the overall page itself. Now, with inside the home page, we then have a home screen. And if I just select the home screen here and inspect that, you can see that it's just kind of brought it in a little bit. The kind of the navigation bar there is excluded from the kind of the hovering here. And of course, as I open up my scaffold, I can then drill in to each of these particular parts. And then you can see here that with my grid view, we have these things called feature cards. Now, the feature card is another component. That component is referenced just down here. So of course, we can sort of go down here. We can kind of then drill into that specific component. Now the thing is the feature card is actually a separate file within inside Dreamflow itself, but the home page and the home screen is made up of the same file itself. So the widget tree is being quite responsive. It's kind of worked out that this is a kind of dependency of the page, but it still presents it here within inside the widget tree, which is a fantastic addition. In Flutterflow, of course, you would have seen this as just a component. Then you would need to go into the component and then kind of make those changes that you would need. So really, really smart move there by the Dreamflow team. So let's kind of just reel it back. Let's go back to where we were. So let's talk about a little bit about the changes that we would like to make. So we know that we kind of got these feature cards. Now, of course, if I make a change to the feature card, then because I've got 4 of these within inside this particular grid, then of course all of those changes would be reflected. So I'm just going to kind of select maybe the container here, and you can see here, in fact, the container in the center here, you can see I've got kind of like rounded borders. If I just look at that here, I've got kind of rounded edges. But if I select the container, and let's just say, for example, that I don't know what I'm doing from a code perspective, or I don't understand what the properties are doing here. You can see I've kind of got these as 20 border. Now we know we can go in here, we can make these changes, and we can remove those the border radius there to kind of square things up. But let's just say that we don't know what we're doing, we don't know about the change. So I'm going to just use this hotkey. So with the container selected, I'm just going to do Apple K here, and it's brought up this prompt, and of course I'm just going to type that in. So I'm just going to say remove rounded borders like that. Okay, just hit enter. It's going to go away. It's going to make that change. And then instantly you see here, those changes have now gone. And of course, I could do the same thing as well with this particular column here. I could make I could sort of make changes here. I could, sort of maybe adjust the padding and all that kind of stuff. I can do that as well in that particular sort of guard. Now, if I go back to my grid view, you can see that that is kind of like the kind of container, as it were, for all of these particular feature cards. But let's just say that the spacing is perhaps just a little bit too much in there. With the grid view selected, I can then just do this Apple K here. So I just select that here. Apple K, there it is. And I can just say reduce spacing between the cards, something like that. Just hit enter and you'll see that hopefully that space has been reduced. There it is. So the great thing is that what this is really demonstrating here is the way that I can kind of go in and I can then drill in a little bit deeper to the particular widgets, and then I can just use these prompts here to make those particular changes. Now, just one little bit of advice here, of course, these are very, very simple little changes that I'm making here. So the hit on the credits that you would have with inside Dreamflow itself would be quite small. But of course, if you are then kind of going a little bit more out of the box here and making something a little bit more of a wider, more overall change, then that may take up more of your credits. Now let's move on to the next part of this, where we're going to use the same technique to kind of add additions to our user interface. Okay, so let's have then a look at another use case then. But this time, instead of using the shortcut, what I can also do is I can right click on the grid view here and I can say prompt edit. Might be convenient for some of you. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing, but this time I'm going to not manipulate a look and feel element of my UI. I'm going to add in more examples. So I'm going to say add about 4 example feature cards like that. So this will go away, it will do its thing, we'll hopefully present that in the UI, and there we go. I can have a look and they look all pretty tidy to me. So that's really handy. One other thing we can also do as well, if I just kind of undo that here and just kind of go back to where I was, there we go. What I can also do is I can right click on the grid view, and then what I can do is I can then say add to agent. So if I just say add to agent, I can then come down here and you can see now that the context is now within inside my agent. So I can just say here, add 4 feature cards like that, and let it go away, do its thing, and then we should see exactly the same result here in the user interface. Okay, so that's all done. You can see here that I've got my additional feature cards just here on the left-hand side. Now, of course, you can see this one's got a particular problem. So good, I can now kind of just drill in a little bit more. Now, hopefully I can correct that particular problem. So I'm just going to go to the inspect mode up here. Let's move down to this particular overflow. I could just select that, and I'm going to simply right-click here, and I'm going to say prompt to edit. So I can do it right there as well. And I can say correct overflow like that. Just press enter, and it hopefully will go away. Clearly it hasn't kind of solved that particular problem, so maybe there's something else going on. So let's just inspect that. Let's just go a little bit more here on the overall parent. Let's just right click on it. Let's say prompt to edit, and I'm going to say correct overflow like that. There we go, let it go away. Hopefully it'll work out now in a wider context there, which it has done, and it's now corrected that problem. So it's good to have these like little problems as we go away, as we go along, because we can kind of then sort of hone in on them a little bit more. Okay, so one little gotcha just to make you aware of that the prompt to edit doesn't always work in the way that you would expect it to work. Like for example here, I would like to create a property within inside my feature card to support the setting of a custom background color. I don't want this kind of gray. I want to be able to select which color I would like. Now you would think you would come in here, you would say prompt to edit, you would tell it to create a new property. It doesn't appear to work for me. It doesn't create that property behind the scenes. So I think the way that this particular part of the application works is that it's much more tuned, much more specific to making more simplistic changes. If you would like to add enhancements to the widgets, such as additional properties, you would need to do that within inside the agent. So let's give that a little go. So I'm not going to make any changes here. I'm not going to inspect anything here. I've just got a new thread up here, and I'm just going to say here that I would like to have a new property to allow me to select a different background color of the feature card, something like that. Hit enter. That's going to go away. That should do a much more deeper kind of analysis of my application, and then should make the required changes that I need. So I'll leave that to play out. Let's go and see if that then has made that particular change. Okay, so there we go. It's kind of been changed. I've got some quite interesting effect that's kind of going on with inside the UI. But the point is, if I bring up the properties here, let's just close the agent for now. If let me see there, you can see here now that I've got this new background color option. So I can see here I've got all my different cards, and you can see that they some have color sets, some don't, like that. You've got the first slot here. So I can come in here, I can choose the color, and I can come in here. Let's just choose the kind of the error color there. Look, that's all been changed. And then of course I can just come in here. Let's just try changing that purple one there, and I've got a color. So you can see here that it's really quite straightforward to set those, or at least create additional properties here to support my actual widgets. You can see here in the code I've now got background color as a property for my feature card. So that's looking pretty good. And if I go to the actual feature card itself, you can see here that I've now got this background color, which clearly is implying that it's optional because there's no required there. But of course I could just type required in there, and that means that that then is a required value to pass in. So I don't want to get into code, but that's basically what it's done under the hood. So hopefully that's kind of gives you a little bit more context around using kind of like the shortcut here, or the prompt to edit here, or add to the agent here to kind of give the agent a little bit more context about the changes that you need to make. So hopefully you found that useful. If you watch this on YouTube, please do like the video, really do appreciate that. And of course, if you're not a member of the Digital Pros No Code Academy, then head over there as well, because I cover a lot about sort of Flutter Flow there and no code more generally. So yeah, so until the next video, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.